Hamptons Television is back again this year at Bentley, and I'm here with Christoph. It's wonderful to see you again.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much for coming to our stand.
We're so excited to have Bentley here at the New York Auto Show. What do you have to offer this year?
And this year is quite an important year because we are introducing our new Continental GT just next to me to the American market this month. And this is a very important car to us because it is an evolution of what has been a revolution in 2003 when we have launched the first Continental GT. And this car simply transformed the business of our company and has created a new market segment. And since then, it is clearly the benchmark in this luxury new market segment.
And how does it differentiate from the other Bentleys before it?
I mean, as a concept, it is a sporty coupe which is a pure definition of a Grand Tour Bentley. So you have a perfect combination of comfort, craftsmanship, attention to detail, refinement, together with a sporty attributes, providing you with a lot of emotions when you drive it, because it's very powerful, 567 horsepower, for example, and 200 miles an hour as a top speed. So it's a very, very powerful car, but as well very refined, and this combination of characteristics or attributes is totally unique in the marketplace.
And it's very sophisticated, its look is so unique. Can you tell us a little bit about what goes into designing it?
Yes, in terms of design, you can see that it is an evolution of the car we had before, the former Continental GT. It is a new car, all panels are new with the exception of the roofline. But still, we wanted to make sure that the Continental identity was maintained and remains. So the design has been sculpted. It has been a sculpture of the Continental GT with very pure lines, with edges being quite pronounced, and we are using a new aerospace technology to produce it this way. So it's very pure, very progressive, contemporary, and again we can say that we have taken a Continental GT, we made it wider, stronger, we sculpted it like an object of art.
And so much goes into making a Bentley. I know you were talking about attention to detail and it's handcrafted. About how many man hours does it take?
I can give you an example instead of speaking about man hours, but I can just take the example of the time we need to craft only the interior of a GT. So the time we need to craft the interior of this car is probably the time you will need to produce 7 family hatchbacks.
Wow.
Just to do the interior. Because of all the skills we are using coming from our tradition, and the way we are doing it is just unique. Yeah? So this car is much more than a car, it's a real object of art, which creates really an emotional relationship with our customers.
Yes, it really is. It's a piece of art, and it's also a performance car.
Yes.
It's so stunning. I'm at the Bentley exhibit at the New York Auto Show, and I'm joined by race car driver Derek Bell.
Well, good afternoon. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming on our stand.
Nice to see you as well. Now, Derek, tell me a little bit about how you're involved with Bentley.
Well, I've been with Bentley for about the last 11 years as a consultant. I was a racing driver, moderately successful for many years, and I won the major Le Mans 24-hour race 5 times. Bentley had also won Le Mans 5 times, but way back before me, and they felt it a good idea that I got involved with them. So we sort of had this British bit together and 5 wins together, and we ended up going to Le Mans in 2003 with our new Bentley race car, and we won the 24 hours. I wasn't driving, but I was part of the program. So we achieved what we wanted, and then since then I've worked on various projects all the way through, sort of really culminating this last year, or this year, with this car I've got here.
And tell us about the car that we have right next to us.
Well, this in fact is the Bentley Supersport. It's called the ISR. It's a Supersports ISR, a very special car built as an ordinary road car. You could go and buy this car. In fact, you can. They do 100 replicas of it. But you could actually go and buy the Supersports car for a certain amount of money, and then you could take it out in the ice and do what we did. But we decided we'd take a bog standard car and take it out into Finland with a brilliant racing driver or rally driver called Juha Kankkonen, who was 4 times world rally champion. We'd take him out there. And of course, he comes from Finland. He was weaned on ice, whereas I wasn't. I live in Florida. And So we took the car out there, and a few modifications were done to it, as we have been discussing, like the headlamps were covered in, various other things, no wing mirrors. We didn't want anything that would create...
That are only on racing cars.
That's right, that's right.
They won't be on the replicas.
On the replicas, you'll have all the legal bits and pieces. And so that really is what we did. And so we then took the car out on the ice, and UHAR took the car up this 10 miles straight. We had 10 miles straight out in the middle of the ice. The ice was about 70 centimeters thick. It was minus 32 degrees when we went to do the attack, as it were. And of course, we had a flying kilometre in the middle, or a flying mile in the middle. And so we would go down 4 miles, turn around, come back, and come into this particular area with 2 markers. Guinness Book of Records man was there taking all the times. And then out the other side, and you'd have to then slow down. You can't brake on the ice because you're going to lock everything up. So you had 4 miles and a bit to slow down in, and then turn around at that end and come back and do it again. And you had to do it through this flying kilometre, which is a little less than a mile, as you know. We had to do it through that both ways, and you have to do it within a certain time, as you do for all world records. And he did 205.48, which is amazing.
That is amazing. Yeah. And what was the record before that?
It was about 197, which he actually held. But we took this particular car, but honestly, it's just an original car with a little bit of trim on the bodywork, as you've seen, and we actually have a parachute on the back as well.
Wow.
Yeah, which we don't use because we're going to fall out of the sky, but we use the parachute if we get into real dire straits and the car gets really sideways and we're about to go up a cliff or off onto the snow in the middle of the sea. We're about to go off the road. We'll actually pull a big lever inside. You can pull this lever, and suddenly the parachute will deploy, and it'll bring the car around and put it back straight on the road.
Oh, well, so it's a safety feature.
It's a very safe, but I don't think UHAR would ever have used it. I think the whole time he was going to hang in there till the bitter end, you know, because you never want to give up when you're a racer.
That's really such an accomplishment. Congratulations.
Thank you. It was great for them. I mean, great for all of us. Thank you.
And thank you, Derek, for joining us.
I enjoyed it. Thank you very much.